everyone. Welcome to today's claim training session. My name is Joe Brigandy, and I'm the National Director of National Technical Compliance. And we got a small group today. Our first training session was, I think, 140 to 150 people. Now we got about 20, so it's like the unplugged version of the training. So a little more intimate setting. Real quick, Sedgwick was, we were really excited back on the first. I hope you were excited to receive the email announcing the partnership with Claim Toolkit. And I personally, and I hope you all are thrilled to have Claim Toolkit as our newest vendor partner. Why did we decide to partner with Claim Toolkit? We know that most of you handle claims in 50 states. And the biggest struggle, or one of the biggest struggles we saw, was issues around jurisdictional understanding. And we believe the Claim Toolkit is going to become a valuable resource for you to help answer your state-specific questions. And so I'm going to turn over the training to Elena Stein with Claim Toolkit, and she'll guide you through how to access the Claim Toolkit and let you understand in greater detail the wealth of material available to you through Claim Toolkit. So Elena, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for the great intro once again. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Elena Stein. I am a compliance attorney with Claim Toolkit. And I want to start by thanking all of you for being here today. I know you all have a very busy schedule, and we are excited to get you going on this application. And we hope that you take from this presentation everything you need to be as efficient as possible and get the most out of the application. So we're going to go ahead first and just talk about what today's training will cover. We're going to talk about how you access your application, the different modules, which are auto, homeowners, and commercial, navigating the application, its structure, running a search, running a report, our What's New feature, the compliance training portal, our help desk. And lastly, as Jason mentioned a little bit ago, any questions, please feel free to go ahead and drop into the Q&A forum. We will not be taking questions live during the session, but what we'll do is we'll put together a Q&A document that will be dispersed at the end of all the trainings. Lastly, if you want your attendance recorded, which I'm sure you all do, please go ahead and drop your email into that Q&A form as well so that you can be counted. So we'll go ahead now and we'll move into your application. How you get there. Your application is web-based, meaning you have a company-specific URL, sedgwick.claimtoolkit.com, that you're provided with your ID and password on the first when you got that automated email to log in. So essentially all you have to do is take that URL, drop it in your internet browser, hit enter, and you are taken right to the application. Where you are taken is what you're seeing right now. This is your login verification screen. When you get here, you'll want to utilize the two fields in the center, your username and password. Directly below you have a checkbox. If you click this checkbox, it's simply going to save your ID and password for future use. That way you don't have to keep re-entering it. Down below, we have a few helpful links for you. The first is forgot username or password. Essentially, if you've forgotten your password, what you'll want to do is you want to drop your username into the username field, click forgot username or password, and what's going to happen is it's going to send your password directly to your email inbox. Directly below this link is the register link. All of you are probably users already, or at least you should be. However, what we've done here is for anyone who's not a user, if you click register, it'll take you to company-specific instructions how you can become a user. Basically, you just got to reach out to Joe via email or phone and request access. Below the register link is the contact us link. If you click on this link, it's going to take you to a submission form. This goes straight to our help desk. So you can go drop your email, your name, phone number, and your message in here, hit send, and it goes right off to our help desk. We also provide you our phone numbers and email as well. We'll go ahead now and we'll just log right into the application. I already have my credentials entered, so I can hit submit. On logging in, I'm automatically defaulted to the auto homepage, which is what you're currently viewing right now. I know I'm in auto because of the icon in the top left-hand corner of the application, the little car. As we move between the different modules, that icon is going to change to signify which module we are in. Directly to the right is the Claim Toolkit logo. You can click this from anywhere in your application, and it'll take you right back to the module homepage you're in. So if you're in your homeowners, it's going to take you back to your homeowners homepage. Commercial, same deal. Directly to the right of the logo is the My Account link. We can click My Accounts, and essentially what it's going to do is take me to my account details. If I want to update any of my information, this is where I would go to do so. If I want to change my password, I'm going to click on the Change Password tab in this right-hand corner. And now I'm not going to click it right now because I don't want to share one's password, but essentially you would go in there, update your details, and click OK to save. We'll go to hit that Claim Toolkit logo, navigate back to our auto homepage. And now we're going to jump all the way over to the right-hand side of our application. What we have here, these 3 little white dashes, is what we call the hamburger, because it looks like 2 buns and a patty. But essentially, if I click on the hamburger, I'm going to get a Toolkit drop-down menu. And this essentially is how I navigate between the different modules or log out or access the compliance training portal. Now your access level will dictate what is available in this drop-down menu. So let's say I want to jump into compliance for commercial. So I'm going to click on compliance for commercial. And we've switched on over. And I know this because the icon in the top left-hand corner has changed. And now what we have is a commercial building. If we go back to the hamburger, hit compliance homeowners. Once again, I know I've moved in the homeowners because the icon in the top left-hand corner has changed to a little house. Now we'll go back to the hamburger and we'll move on down our Toolkit drop-down menu to compliance training. I can click here and what's going to take me to a portal basically that's going to cover any and everything that we're going to talk about today. So if I want to watch a full overview training, it's about 30-35 minutes. I can click in the center of my screen here on this image. And what is going to happen? It's going to open a YouTube channel with a full compliance training that is going to go into more detail than what we're going into today. At the top, we have a subject matter based drop-down menu. So if I'm looking for certain information, all I have to do is hover my mouse over the titles in the drop-down menu to see a listing of charts available to me with specific information. So if I'm looking for information on how to navigate the application, I want to know more about breadcrumbs. Simply click on breadcrumbs. It's going to take me to a detailed chart explaining to me how they work and where I can find them in the application. So we'll go ahead and scroll on back up. Let's say I'm looking for something and I don't know which chart it's on, and honestly, I don't want to take the time to find it. I just need to use my search function. It's in the top left-hand corner. I can type in a keyword. A number of blue boxes will appear, and essentially what it's doing is it's pulling charts with relevant information pertaining to the keyword that I entered. All I do is pick whichever chart I want to view, click the blue box, and I'm taken right to that chart. So now we'll go ahead and we'll jump back to compliance. So I'm going to hit that hamburger in the top right-hand corner, click on compliance. Again, we're going to automatically default back to the auto homepage. And now we're going to move through the homepage chart in the center. Now, auto, commercial, and homeowners are set up identically, and they function exactly the same way. So in the top center, we have our Allstate COVID-19 emergency page link. Now we're going to come across a lot of text like this bolded underlined text. Just know anytime you see that, this means you can click it to dig deeper for more information. So I'm going to go ahead and click the link. And what's going to do, it's going to take me to my COVID-19 state selection page. This is where I'm going to choose which state I want to view. So let's say I want to see Nebraska. We land on the Nebraska COVID-19 page, and essentially what we have is a dragnet page of information, all information pertaining to COVID-19. We break it up for you by categories, so news, auto, public health, regulatory, insurance, unemployment, and DOI directives. Simply scroll through the pages and you can see the information laid out as is. We'll go ahead and scroll on back up. If I want to select another state, all I have to do is hit select COVID-19 state. I'm taken back to this page. Or I can go and use that Claim Toolkit logo and jump on back to our auto homepage. Now, in the center of our homepage, we have a 411 search. We have a scene photo search, a weather search. For any of these, just enter in the information being asked, hit search, and it's going to go ahead and pull that information for you. Directly below, we have 2 different report features. One is compliance reports, and the second is DOI directive reports. Now I'm going to run reports for you in a couple minutes when you have a little bit more understanding of the different types of information that you're going to pull here. Right now we're going to jump down into our virtual icon dashboard at the very bottom of your application. Essentially what these give you is a whole bunch of resources inside and outside of Claim Toolkit. So we're going to go ahead and jump into one specifically, which is the library. Essentially, when we get to the library, we're going to know first and foremost that there's a lot of information on this page, and I know this simply because there's a navigational toolbar at the top of my screen. Essentially, anytime you see this, just be prepared for lots of information. But you can go ahead and click anywhere within this navigational toolbar, and it's going to jump you to that portion of the chart. But again, we have our bold underlined text. I'm going to click any one of these that say I want to know more about jury verdict reviews. And these will take me outside of information. Any site that requires an account or payment, that's not going to be provided for you via Claim Toolkit. That's something you'll have to register and set up on your own. So we'll go ahead now, and what we're going to do is we're going to use this breadcrumb. We have our first breadcrumb. It's in the left-hand corner here that I'm highlighting, the auto home breadcrumb. As we move through the application, you're going to see breadcrumbs become up more as we dig deeper into the application. So I can hit auto home, and it's navigating me right back to auto home page. The auto home breadcrumb functions exactly the same as the Claim Toolkit logo. Another very popular chart or icon in the virtual icon dashboard is the insurance company's contact information. If we go ahead and jump in here, we have our navigational toolbar at the top to jump into any portion of the page. But simply if we scroll down a little bit, we'll see it's broken up into 3 columns. We have our company website. We link you to the insurance company website, and then we give you their primary mailing address. In the center, we have their main claim phone numbers. So what we also give you here is any instructions possible to help you bypass that automated system as quickly as possible. And then on the right-hand side, we have our online internet loss reporting. Essentially, we tell you yes or no if they allow this. If they do, we link you to that page on their website. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit that auto home breadcrumb once again. And now we're going to dive into some state-specific information. So to do so, I'm going to go to the top of my application in the center, and I'm going to go to the state reference drop-down menu. I'm going to hit the down arrow, and I'm going to choose the state I want to view. Let's say California. Now, all 50 states plus DC have their homepage set up exactly the same way, and they function identically. Your first means of navigating through state-specific information is to use the subject matter-based drop-down menu at the top of your application. In general law, you'll find things like automated vehicle law, commercial auto limits, communication time limits, minimal limits, restitution, releases. In court procedure, you'll find things like discovery, jury verdict, minor settlements, offer of judgment. Under damages, you're going to find things like interest, punitive damages, subro rights, forms. This is the newer dropdown. These will take you out of Claim Toolkit to relevant state agencies with forms that you'll find very useful. Immunity covers things like governmental, spousal. Legal authority. This dropdown is always state specific, meaning this is always specific to the state you're currently viewing. So we're going to go ahead and link you to the California Muni Code, the California Vehicle Code, the California Statutes, Admin Code, etc. The liability dropdown, you're going to have things like age of reason, guest statute, parental liability. The contact dropdown. First off, we have Claim Toolkit. This will take you right to that submission form we saw right at the beginning of our training. And then next up is the insurance company's contact information. So it'll take you right back to that directory we just viewed. And then below here, we're going to link you to the contact pages for relevant state agencies. Our BI handling and PD handling dropdowns. These charts are also available within the other dropdowns in your subject matter-based dropdown menu. But essentially what we did here, we created kind of a cheat sheet here. We had a client come to say, hey, how can we make sure our adjusters are seeing what they need to if they have a BI claim or a PD claim? So this was the answer we gave them. So if you have either of those claims, you can jump right into these dropdowns for easy access. Next up, our auto liability charts. So that will include right-of-way duties and defensive driving duties. I'm going to go ahead and jump into one of these charts because their setup is a little bit different than the rest of our compliance charts. We'll go and take a look at Lookout. Now, what makes these charts different is they have a 2-column format. On the left-hand side, we're going to give you the statute or admin applicable to the information you're looking for. But then directly to the right, we're going to pinpoint you to exactly in the driver's manual that speaks to that regulation. So this way, if you have a claim, you're dealing with an insured or claimant who's telling you there's no way I can be aware of all these laws and regulations, you can say that's fine. But in order to obtain your driver's license, you have to be aware of all the rules and regulations within your driver's manual. And you can point them to exactly in the driver's manual that speaks to this specific law. Next up are our driver's manuals. This dropdown, once again, is state specific. So we're going to link you to the California Bike Manual, Boating Manual, CDL, Teen Drivers. Now, if I want to navigate back to the California homepage, I now have access to a state-specific breadcrumb. So if I click California, it's going to take me right back to the California State homepage. If I want to go all the way back to the auto homepage, I can hit Auto Home or the Claim Toolkit logo. Now, we're going to jump in quickly and we're taking a look at the other setup for compliance charts, so the non-auto liabilities. We're going to go into general law. We're going to take a look at communication time limits because this is a very popular chart. So just by looking at this navigational bar, I know there's a lot of information here. I can jump to any portion of the chart by clicking any one of these topics. But I'm going to go ahead and scroll down a little bit. And essentially what we have here on these charts is a 3-column format. In the first column, we're going to tell you exactly what you need to know in as few words as possible. So our goal here is for you to only have to look at column 1. But let's say you want to read a little deeper or do a little more research. You can go to column 2, and we're going to give you a more robust summary of that statute, admin, case law bulletin. We're also going to give you a citation to the source. If there's a subsection available, we're going to provide that to you as well to pinpoint you to where in the statute or admin you should be looking. And then in column 3, we are going to link you to the state site or the source itself. So once again, I have bolded and underlined text. I can go ahead and click here. And I'm taken right to that California regulation. So we'll now go on back up. We're going to hit that California breadcrumb. And now we're going to take a look at our second means of navigating between state-specific information. And that is the search feature. So just like the training portal, this operates exactly the same way. I'll start typing in my keywords. Blue boxes will appear pulling relevant charts. And I'll go ahead and click whichever blue box I feel is appropriate for what I'm looking for. It'll take me right to that chart, and here I am. So I'm going to scroll back up. We'll hit that California breadcrumb, jump on back, and now we'll look through the center of the state homepage. First up are negligence types. So this nice gray looking category right here. If I click on negligence type, it's going to take me a chart basically explaining the different liability types. Jump on back. The link or the text directly to the right of negligence type is going to tell me the exact type of negligence that is applicable in California. So I can go ahead and click this link because I know I can. It's bolded underlined. And so take me to an explanation on this topic. So if I look at column 1, I can see pure comparative negligence is applicable in California. I have the case law here to back up that statement. And then I'm linked directly to the case law if I feel like doing some light reading on a Friday, you know. But we can go ahead, hit that state breadcrumb, jump on back. And now I'll move to the center of the chart. First up is our COVID-19 information. So if I hit view, it's going to take me right back to that California COVID-19 page. This is just your second way of accessing this information. So we'll hit California, jump on back, and now it's time to run a report. So I can hit view, and now you know there's two different access ways of running a report, from the module homepage or from the state homepage. So the difference between compliance reports and DOI directive reports. Compliance reports are going to pull charts and information from your subject matter-based drop-down menu, all the charts available above here. Your DOI directive reports. This is going to pull charts and information from your DOI directive pages that you can find right here, and we'll go into those deeper in just a minute. But we'll go here now, and you may be noticing these little blue icons with the white question mark. These are what we call our hover help. Simply hover your mouse over these icons and it'll provide you more information into what we're asking from you. But to run a report, first I need to pick a line of business. So let's say we want to stick with auto. Next, I need a report category. So I can pick general law, and you're probably noticing that the report categories match up with the titles in the drop-down menu at the top. Once I pick my report category, I can choose a chart. And once again, this is going to align with the charts available when I hover my mouse over the title. I have the option of honing into a specific category or row within that chart. I can go ahead and leave it set to all, or I can hone in on a specific type of category or information. Now, lastly, I need to pick a state. I can do all states, I can do one state, or I can do a handful of states. I can also type in state names, it'll pull that for me. And now we'll go ahead, we'll hit search. Our new tab is going to populate, and right now it's searching and pulling the information I requested. I'm going to give it just a second because communication time limits has a lot of information to pull from. And here we are with our report. So one thing to note, in the top left-hand corner, you have your date and timestamp. What is important about this? We have a lot of users who like to save these to their desktop or print them off for reference. You need to know that at Claim Toolkit, we're updating the database at least 20 times a day. So if you're going to go ahead and do that, you're going to save these. You're going to want to go and rerun the report at least on a weekly basis, because what we don't want you doing is operating on outdated information. So we're going to just scroll down. You'll see we can essentially do a comparison between states for the applicable law I am researching. Okay, we'll go ahead and exit out of this tab. We'll hit clear and we'll jump on over to DOI directives. Now, when I choose report, I have two types to choose from. The first is COVID-19, and then the other is DOI directives. So basically everything else. We'll choose DOI directives. And when I click choose a state, it's only going to show me the states with active DOI directives currently in play. So we'll pick our states, hit search. Once again, that new tab is going to populate, and we'll give it a second to pull the information. DOI directive pages tend to be quite large. Top left-hand corner, again, you have your date and timestamp. And then below, if we just go ahead and scroll down, it's going to go ahead and pull the entire chart for those DOI directive pages. But again, I can save this to my desktop or print them out or just run them for comparison purposes. We'll exit out of here. And now we use that California breadcrumb, jump on back. Now we're up to our what's new. We have two different options, what's new in the state we're currently viewing or what's new in all states. We'll go and take a look at what's new in California. The first thing we'll see is what's new in Claim Toolkit. Essentially, this is the area we keep you apprised of ongoing research projects. But then if we scroll down, we'll go and see what's new in California. We break it up for you by the effective date, line of business impacted, and details regarding that what's new. Your bolded title gives you a short to the point summary of what's happening here. We'll cite the authoritative piece, whether it's a House bill, a bulletin, etc. And then we'll give you a summary on the change occurring. We'll hit that California breadcrumb, jump on back. And now we're going to jump into our what's new in all states. We have our navigational toolbar at the top of our screen. Again, our what's new in Claim Toolkit. And then we'll move into what's new in state legislation as of 6/17. So we break it up for you by the state, the effective date, line of business impacted, and details on the what's new. If we go ahead and scroll down a little bit, we'll take a look at Arkansas governmental immunity. Now you're going to see these bolded underlined text, meaning I can click this for more information. So again, we have our summary, we know what's going on. If I click here, it's going to take me to that state chart with the information and the change occurring. Now our what's new is the first way that we show you or let you know of new information being added to the database. The second way we do this is through our amended what's new category. If ever you come to a chart or you navigate here without going to a what's new, this is going to tell you that there's new information available. The third way we let you know that there's a change occurring is this orange text here. This text tells you a change is soon to occur or has very recently occurred. And this text is going to stay orange at the top of the chart for at least 8 days past the effective date or until the state updates their site online. So you know some states like California are going to update in real time. Other states like Nevada take months to update their statutes and admin. So we don't want you navigating there and seeing outdated law. But we'll go ahead, we'll jump back to California. And now we'll move into our DOI directive pages. Each event is going to have its own chart. So let's say we want information about California wildfires. We'll hit wildfires and we'll navigate to this chart, which is just a wealth of information. You have our navigational toolbar at the top to jump to any portion of the page you need to. But essentially, these charts cover the effective dates of the DOI directive and state of emergency, the event, counties affected, your CAT adjuster requirements, your claims handling guidelines, any company reporting requirements, so think data calls, and company underwriting guidelines. And again, you can see I wasn't kidding when I said DOI pages have a lot of information, so I hope you like to read. But we'll go ahead now, we'll hit that California breadcrumb, jump on back. And next up is our all states active emergency orders. So we'll go ahead and click on emergency orders. Again, you have a navigation toolbar at the top of the screen. One thing to note is that these are only governor issued emergency orders, meaning you're not going to see local, so nothing from judges or mayors. But we break it up for you by the state, details on the event, a description of the event, effective dates, expiration dates, and any company guidelines, meaning DOI directives. So let's go ahead and scroll down. So what you're going to see right now is for every state, first off, we link you directly to that all state COVID-19 information page. Next up, if they have an active DOI directive for COVID-19, we're going to link you directly to that DOI directive page. And then down below, you're going to see all other states of emergencies. So for example, here in Arizona, we have a state of emergency in the specific counties. We link you to that declaration or proclamation or state of emergency, executive order, whatever that state likes to call it. We give you the effective date, we give information on the expiration date, and then we tell you no directives issued by the DOI. We'll go and hit that California breadcrumb, jump on back. Next up is our state compliance overview. If we hit view, essentially what we're taken to is a poll of all need to know compliance information for this state. And essentially what we do is we pull column 1 for all the compliance information that you need to be aware of for this particular state. So if you're expanding your territories or you're stepping into a state where you're not sure all the rules and regulations, this is the perfect place to go to pull an overview of the compliance information. But to give you things like minimum limits, MedPay, UMUIM, no pay, no play law, communication time limits, and so on. We'll go ahead now, we'll scroll on back up. We'll hit that California breadcrumb once again. And now, and lastly, we are to our third means of navigating between state-specific information. Essentially, if you look at all of these charts and below, this is just a shortcut to our most popular charts. So essentially, we just wanted to give you another way to access those top hit charts. Every one of these you see here, general duty care, statute of limitations, they can all be found by using your drop-down menu at the top of your application or through the search function. But again, this is just another way to give you quick access. So that concludes our application overview. I want to thank you again all for attending. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day. If you have any questions, please go ahead and drop them into the Q&A forum. We will answer those for you and then send out a document to Sedgwick. And then if you missed it from at the beginning, please, before you leave, throw your email address into that Q&A form as well. This is how we're taking attendance, so that way everyone can get credit for being here today. So thank you again, and I hope you guys have a great day.